goes into further detail telling me that Pam was killed.
And then that's when my aunt came to me and was like, your mom passed today.
I knew that death was imminent, and there was nothing more that could be done for her.
Her grandfather owned a catering business that my Nana worked at, my grandmother worked at since she was a teenager. So they grew up, built friendships. Then Pam was born before me, and then I was born. So we grew up in the catering business together. Her grandfather owned it, my grandmother worked there, and we ate roast beef sandwiches, pickles, and cookies together. Well, and cleaned shrimp out. We always grabbed lunch over the summer, so I did see her over the summer, and we had some lunch. And you know, we caught up like, oh, how's your mom? How's your dad? How's this? How's that? How's school? What are you doing? And I mean, it was not to think that that would be the last time I'd be seeing her, I'll tell you that much. So it was March. We had been chatting actually on Facebook back and forth for a little while, and I was napping, and it was late at night. It was not late at night, but later. It was around 8 or so, 9. I got a voicemail from my Nana, grandmother. Called her back, and it was her telling me that Pam's grandfather, the gentleman who owns the catering business, his brother just committed suicide, and I'm like, oh, you know, sorry for the loss. And my Nana goes into further detail telling me that Pam was killed and that Bill killed her, and Bill is Pam's boyfriend. I started to cry. I started to, I asked her, I basically thought she was lying to me. I was in complete denial. I had just talked to her the day before on Facebook. We were chatting back and forth. I had told her I'd call her on Saturday. I never called her. I found out Monday. So it was like all these emotions going through my head. I stood up. I was crying hysterically. I told her I'd call her back because I just needed to be off the phone. And I went to find my roommates, and I basically found them and fell on the ground because I couldn't control what I was feeling, I guess. You know, when someone's old or older, or you know they're sick, you've begun to prepare yourself for their death, as hard as that is. But you know, when you talk to somebody 2 days before they're killed, that traumatic event, you don't even know how to handle it. You know, I tried to walk to class, cried, couldn't even make it. Had to stop about 10 times. I had to just realize and tell myself that things happen for a reason and to keep living. You know, while I'm sitting in class, I'm okay for 5 minutes, and the next minute she comes into my mind and I'm crying and I have to leave. And it's not like I was ever able to prepare myself, which really made it really, really hard. Being that she passed, I went and saw a counselor, which was really a great thing I did. So it's kind of nice to, when I go to counseling, to kind of address the issue before it happens, and I slowly prepare myself. It is so hard. You know, my 21st birthday, I thought Pam would be there to have a drink with me, and she wasn't. Or, you know, I am gonna graduate, and she graduated, and I would have loved to see what she did. And I say a lot like it's really hard because I'm never gonna get a wedding invitation from her. I'm never gonna see her have babies. So it is difficult at times. Obviously today I'm still a little bit of a mess. I do definitely get emotional. It's, you know, your best friend that you grow up with. So, but like I said, in time, I know it'll get easier. And I don't know if she's around me or what she is, but I feel that she looks over me if that's true. If people believe in that, I think she's around, you know. I mean, it's definitely gotten easier, but it's always there. Because, you know, certain holidays will come around. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna see Pam. Don't see her. It's like, I was told it's kind of like anniversary stages, you know, times when you think you're going to see this person. You know, her birthday's going to come up. What am I going to do? It's going to be really hard. Like I said, the holidays, I'm going to go home and think that I can text her and be like, oh, are you home? Because we can catch up. It's not going to be able to happen. The summer, it's going to really hit me because I'll talk to her and think it's time to get lunch and she's just not around. So that's when it triggers it. I guess it'll get easier over time. It's so fresh, I don't know, but as of now, it's still pretty hard at times. You try to continue to remember the person. So it's like you'll see a random thing and just think that that's them because that's what you do. You just try to hold on to whatever you can and think that they're always around. She drove a specific BMW, but I see any BMW, I get upset. Rutgers, she went to Rutgers, so the red R is like everywhere when I drive back to Jersey, so it's really hard to see. It's funny, one day I'm sitting on my porch telling a friend who had asked me some questions, and all of a sudden a rainbow came out. So come to find out, a rainbow came out on the day she graduated college. So it's nice when I see rainbows. I really think of her a lot. Hopefully she'll lead me to gold one day at the end of it. Certain songs, there's a couple old time songs that remind me of her. Katy Perry, Firework really reminds me of it. So Rutgers University put a scholarship in her name for a student who, you know, needs the money, not necessarily based on GPA, but Pam was all about keeping people together, helping people out. She knew everybody. Pam, I don't even know half the time why Pam asked me how my parents were doing, because she probably saw them and knew more than I knew. You know, Pam was just that type of girl. And it was wonderful to, you know, it's really nice to hear that they have scholarships and stuff in her name. Hopefully one day when I'm fortunate enough, I would like to start something in Pam's name myself for a person like Pam who might need that little, you know, extra foot in the door, and with the help of Pam, in the name of Pam, that they'll be able to accomplish that. So, love you, Pam.
I had a really good relationship with my mom. I was the type of daughter that I got everything I wanted. I was kind of spoiled. My mom was like a party type of mom. Like, people flocked to my mom. A lot of people liked my mom. She was a likable person. But we had a good relationship. Like, we never argued or anything like that. Well, except for like stuff that moms and daughters argue about. But we really had a good relationship. Like, it was a genuine, loving relationship. She would do anything for me, and I would do anything for her. She died of lung cancer, and it traveled to her brain. And then after they took it out of her brain, it traveled to the other lung. So at the time when it started getting critical, she wasn't really responsive. Like, it was like she was kind of sedated. So it was just like talking like, hey, Mom, like, I know she can hear me, but she's here, but she's not here. So it was like that. Like, all the time that I wasn't at home, I was always worried about her. So that was always in the back of my mind, like making sure she's okay, making sure somebody's there to aid her and stuff like that.
We were in the middle bedroom where we usually put anyone that gets sick in our family goes in the middle bedroom, because you're boarded by the front bedroom and the back bedroom and the bathroom. And I could see that death was imminent, and I was there. Her sisters were there. She knew that she was going. I knew that she was going days ahead, and there was nothing more that could be done for her other than to keep her comfortable, which we did.
I was in high school, and I came home. It was raining that day, and I was on the bus coming home from school, and I was walking down the street from the bus stop, and I saw a bunch of cars outside of my house. And then I'm walking in, and everybody was asking. I'm walking in the house. It's a lot of people in my house, but I was kind of in denial, like, oh, just people here. But it was random people there. And they were like asking me, like, how was your day-to-day in school? Like, stuff that nobody never asked me, so it was like weird. And so I walked in the kitchen, and I'm just like, why is everybody here? And then that's when my aunt came to me and was like, your mom passed today. I collapsed on the kitchen floor, and like everybody rushed over to me and stuff like that. It was a shock. I was shocked, But I don't know. That was just my reaction. I just fell. I knew it was coming. Like we had it. Like it was a hospice. Like we had the bed and all that kind of stuff. But I was on the type of like track that okay, she's going to get better. Like I didn't want to accept the fact that she was dying. Like I just knew. Like I had faith that it was going to get better. So like we had everything. Like everything was prepared. Like it was like funeral arrangements going on. Like we had like meetings and stuff like that. They would ask me like, well, what do you want, Tiffany, and stuff like that. And I would just be like, I don't care. Like I don't know. But like it was a process. Like I knew, but I didn't want to believe it.
It was not a shock, but it was a finality. You knew that it was over on this part of the earth. She knew days ahead that she wasn't going to live. She knew this. And even as far as months ahead, she had had a lot of surgeries, and she was a fighter, and she fought very hard to live, but we knew that it was impossible. The disease that she had was devastating, and she was always a winner, but she didn't win this one, but she won in the end. Her spirit left. I always say I have a Kim sighting, and I saw a young lady at the shopping center, and she looked so very much like my daughter. She was tall, and she was good looking. My daughter was a good looking girl. She had features like her, and she walked like her. And I just stopped. I said, oh my God. But I knew my daughter, that was not my daughter. And I smiled, and she smiled at me. And she got on her car, and she left, and I sat there, and I just boo-hoo cried. But it was a Kim sighting. It was a daughter sighting.
Different perfumes that she had, because she was a big fan of perfumes. Different smells, they kind of bring tears to my eyes, because I always smell my mom. I can smell my mom when she's coming in. I can smell when my mom just left a room. So smell definitely brings like tears to my eyes. But I think that it's just when I'm really having a tough day, or when I see others with their mom, or I see somebody that act like my mom, I think that really like gets me like really crying. I don't cry in front of them, but like at the end of the day, if I'm thinking about it, I think that really like brings like really, really harsh tears to my eyes, because of course I'm a girl and I miss my mother. So yeah, I think it's like when certain people remind me of my mom, or if I see a girl my age with their mom, like, because I could be doing them things. So I think that really brings the tears. Moving on, I don't think it was as hard for me in the beginning, because I was preparing for it. The first Christmas without my mom, I think that really took a toll on me, because it was like, am I going to have anything underneath the tree? Like, I know I'm older, I really don't expect anything, but my mom used to always get me stuff. So it was just like, I think the first Christmas really got me. Today it's like I'm okay to talk about it. I can talk about it without crying. I think I'm a stronger person because of it, and I think I am my mother, because she was such a strong person. So I try to like live life the way she would live and the way she would want me to live.
It's great. You know, if I didn't have a religious background or a church background, or my family's support, or even my granddaughter, I look at my granddaughter Tiffany, and she's almost the exact spitting image of her mother, Kim. And that's a comfort to me. When I glance at her, certain of the mannerisms that she has is very much like her mother. And I get joy out of that, because she's not totally forgotten.
Losing your mom is it's like something that a lot of people can't handle. But I think I've been one of the great people that can handle it, and I'm okay with talking about it. And I just think it's only made me a stronger person today.
But you have to have faith, and you can't walk through life afraid either. You just have to be in touch with a higher being, your higher power, and go along and continue to believe that He is. And death is just the cessation of life. And you go on to a different life.